title of today's notes is Operations with Integers. Okay, first things first. In order to understand the operations with integers, first we need to start with what is an integer. An integer is a positive or negative whole number. So no decimals, no fractions, no percents. Just a whole number, positive or negative. We're going to start with multiplying and dividing integers. The triangle you see is very helpful when you're multiplying and dividing negative and positive integers. Notice on the bottom there's two negative signs, and then on the top there's a plus sign. If you're not familiar with this triangle, I'm going to help you with it on the next few slides. Okay, the problem is 15 divided by a negative 3. Since the 15 is positive and the 3 is negative, I'm going to draw a line through the positive in the top of the triangle and one of the negatives. It does not matter which one. Notice the only symbol that is left is a negative. That means my answer is going to be negative. Once you've figured out the sign of your problem, then divide. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So my answer is negative 5. In this problem, we're taking negative 3 times a negative 8. Since both numbers are negative, I'm going to draw a line through the two negatives on my triangle. Notice the plus sign is left on top, or a positive. This means my answer is positive. Now I multiply the numbers. 3 times 8 is 24. So my answer is a positive 24. We're going to multiply a negative 4 times 7. Since the 4 is negative and the 7 is positive, I'm going to draw a line through the plus sign and one of the negatives on the bottom. It does not matter which negative you choose. Notice the negative symbol left in the bottom right. That means my answer is going to be negative. Now I can multiply the numbers together. 4 times 7 is 28. Since my answer is going to be a negative, my answer is negative 28. These are the rules for multiplying and dividing negative and positive integers. You may memorize the rules, use the triangle, or both. The first one, if you're going to multiply or divide two negative numbers, the answer is always, always, always a positive. However, if you're only multiplying or dividing with one negative number, the answer is going to be a negative. Let's move on to adding and subtracting integers. I don't like the words adding and subtracting because sometimes you get confused on is it a plus sign, is it a minus sign, is it a negative, is it a positive. So we're going to use the word combining instead of adding and subtracting. We're going to combine numbers. We're going to look and see at each number individually to determine if it's a positive or negative number. The sign in front of the number tells you negative or positive. If there's no sign written, it's understood that the number is a positive number. Here are the rules for combining integers. If integers have the same sign, so both numbers are positive or both numbers are negative, your answer is going to have that same sign. To find out what the number is, you simply add the two numbers together. If they have different signs, so one negative and one positive, the answer has the sign of the number with the largest absolute value. In order to find the answer, you're going to subtract the numbers. Sometimes these rules can be a little bit confusing, so let's look at this a different way. Let's look at each positive number as a good guy and each negative number as a bad guy. In this problem, we're going to take a negative 3 plus 5. We're going to combine a negative 3 and a positive 5. Based on what we just said, a negative 3 is 3 bad guys, and the 5 is 5 good guys. When these 3 bad guys and 5 good guys meet up, each good guy is going to take out one bad guy. So we're going to have 3 bad guys and 3 good guys fight it out. What's left? You've got 2 good guys. Since it's 2 good guys, it's going to be a positive 2 for your answer. In this problem, it's 2 minus 8. Since there's no symbol in front of the 2, that's a positive 2. That's 2 good guys. The symbol right in front of the 8 is a minus or a negative symbol, so that's 8 bad guys. Here we have our good guys and bad guys meeting up. Notice each good guy fights a bad guy, but there's more bad guys in this problem, so what happens? Our answer is left with 6 bad guys. Since they're bad guys, that is a -6. Notice in this problem we have parentheses with a negative inside the parentheses and a negative or a minus sign outside the parentheses. We cannot move on and start looking at good guys or bad guys until we get rid of these 2 negatives. 2 negatives, just like before, are going to make a positive. So the 2 negatives in front of the 7 combine together to make a positive symbol. Our new problem is -5 plus 7. Now looking at the problem, since there's a -5, that's 5 bad guys. And since there's a +7, that's 7 good guys. 5 of our bad guys are going to take out 5 of our good guys, but we have 2 good guys left. So the answer to the problem is 2. Since they're good guys, it's a +2. In this problem, we have a -2 minus 4. But the symbol in front of the 2 is a negative, so that's 2 bad guys. The symbol in front of the 4 is a negative, so that's 4 bad guys. Bad guys don't fight each other. Bad guys join each other and plot to take over the world. So in this problem, we have 6 bad guys. So our answer is going to be a -6.